And there he is. He's the mover of chains. The force is strong with him. He's the quarterback one for the Buffalo Bills. It's Josh Allen. What's up, dude?
Just hanging out. Thanks for having me back on.
We wouldn't miss it. We look forward to it every week. We look forward to seeing your movie posters and Tommy Shelby and the Joker and Iron Man and all your friends behind you. Have you added to your friends?
I did. I got Catch Me If You Can. You can't really see it over there. I just put up the town. I think I had Anakin and Darth Vader, the lightsabers up last time. So I've got some room on this side, on this wall that I'm gonna have to start going. But it's a cool little collection. I started with these. I saw it on Instagram. I got Instagram added, and I ordered a bunch of them, and I freaking love them. So it's pretty cool.
They look great. We all click on the Instagram thing sometimes. They know what we like and they play on us, and that's fine. Josh, we have to look back before we look forward. Bills 38, Steelers 3. Dude, it looked so fun. You looked like you were having so much fun with your boys out there. How much fun were you having on Sunday?
It was a lot of fun. It was one of the most interesting games of my career. I think football career, not even just NFL career. Like early on, obviously hitting a couple huge deep balls to Gabe Davis. And, the yardage compared to the completions, like if you look at it statistically, it was funky. One of those games where they don't happen too often, so you have to appreciate and enjoy them when they do. But again, we got Khalil Shakir, one of our rookies, getting his first touchdown. James Cook getting his first touchdown. On the other side of the ball, Kyair Lamb getting his first interception of his career. So it was a pretty cool experience to have, that happen for those young guys and to be able to be a part of that team that was there for that. So it was really cool. Just another way to find another way to get a dub, and we got a big one this week too, and we know that.
You do, and you took care of business at home before that one. You mentioned the big one you hit to Gabe. 98 yards. Dude, we've done the research here at Kyle Brandt's Basement. It's your longest touchdown as a pro, longer than any you had at Wyoming. Have you ever gone 98 or 99, like as a Fireball High Eagle or Pop Warner or anything?
Never. No. I think my longest in high school was actually my first start for varsity. It was a touchback, so we get the ball on the 20-yard line. Our first play from scrimmage that year went 80 yards to Christian Patlin. So that was, I think, the previous long. And again, those don't come around too often, so you got to enjoy those.
Gabe Davis playing the role of Christian Patlin in this one. Take us through the play, Josh,
Yep.
from huddle to celebration, like just everything that happened, everything you saw, because it was electric.
Yeah, I mean, again, first down, we get the ball at our 2-yard line. We come out, we try to throw a little quick pass. We were, trying to look for Gabe early on. Didn't see it there. Try to get to Motor. They bat it down. We go a run play, and it's now 3rd and 10 on your own 2-yard line. Like, not too often will the offensive coordinator call a shot play and have that faith in our scheme to go out there and do that, but in two, the faith in me to go out there and make the right decision. Not put the ball in jeopardy. And when he called it, I just kind of got a little giddy. And, they doubled Steph and they tried to double Gabe, but I think they were playing the sticks a little bit, it being 3rd and 10 on your own 2. Again, not too many people will call a shot play there. And Gabe read it perfectly. I just gave him a chance to make a play. And it was really cool experience. I'm on the ground celebrating and Gabe Davis at the 50-yard line. Like, it was awesome.
It sounds like, if I'm reading it right, you give a lot of credit to Dorsey for it.
Yeah, I mean, again, Dorsey, he's doing a heck of a job right now. He's doing a heck of a job, and first year experience as an offensive coordinator, but he's played in a lot of big time games in his career. So to have that experience, to know what it feels like to be back there when bullets are flying, not to expect too much out of his guys, but to try to push them to greatness. And again, we talked about the passion a couple weeks ago. He continues to have that passion, in our team meetings and our unit meetings on the practice field. Like, again, he works so hard at his craft. He wants to go out there and call a perfect game and give us opportunities to make plays.
Plus, there's a certain South Park meme involving Randy Marsh and a wheelbarrow that I think would apply to Ken Dorsey too. And I know you know it well because it's usually applied to you. But Josh, you mentioned Khalil Shakir. If anybody doesn't know, this is a rookie wide receiver from Boise State. Scored his first career touchdown, and he told a story afterwards that you went and got the ball and handed it to him to make sure he could have that. Now, I don't think that's insignificant. And you look at that and you look at Von's t-shirts and the Backstreet Boys IG videos, and everything you guys have going on. There seems to be really something special about this locker room. Like, how does this locker room feel different this year?
And we've got a lot of love for each other. And I try to preach that to everybody that walks into our room. Like, you've got a place here, like you're meant to be here. But yeah, on that play, I throw it to Khalil. We're like on our 25 or 30. I don't know where we're at. But I'm like hugging the offensive lineman, and I'm going down to see Khalil, and I see him toss the ball to the ref, and I make a beeline towards the ref, and like I know like that's his first touchdown. This is like basically his first real game time experience, you know. So I go and grab it to him, and I kind of stick it in his chest area. And I go, "What are you doing, dude? Like, come on, like have some awareness, stupid rookie." So it was fun, and I did the same thing for James Cook. But James Cook had the wherewithal to keep the ball for himself.
Yeah.
I was making sure I was kind of following the ball, ready to do that if need be. But, he was a little more present in the moment. I think Khalil was just kind of lost in the moment and had a good time celebrating with his teammates. I think he was so just shocked at what just happened. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do with his hands.
What about 5 years ago when the stupid rookie was number 17 and you had your first touchdown? Did you get the ball? What happened?
Yeah, I did. I threw an in cut to Kelvin Benjamin, and went and grabbed. And I think Charles Clay grabbed it from him and gave it to me, if I recall. So I think I saw something like a highlight of that a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got it. It's somewhere. I mean, I don't really hang footballs or any of my memorabilia. So it's somewhere in the basement and storage or something.
Yeah, Charles Clay, we love you, but we got a Peaky Blinders poster that just has to take priority in the shop. That's what we do. We're modest about our football accomplishments. We get it. Josh, you and I have talked about before when the season started and you guys were playing not on Sundays. You watch Red Zone, you watch ball, you're totally into it. Did you watch Monday Night Football last night, Chiefs Raiders? What'd you think?
Oh yeah, I did. Obviously, Kansas City came out. They played well. Started off a little slow, a little shaky. The end of the game, I was actually at one of my buddy Eric Wood, who was a center here the year before I was. He had a flight and bite steal charity event for the Oshad Children's Hospital. So I went there, kind of showed some face. So we were watching the game there. But yeah, like that fourth quarter, it was very exciting. But yeah, 4-1, Kansas City, Buffalo in Kansas City. I think everybody in the world is excited for that matchup. For us, we're excited because it's our next game. It's our biggest one. I know everybody's going to be trying to boost this one up, probably yourself included. But it's just another game on our schedule. It really is, and I'm sure that they feel the same way.
One, how dare you? I would never do that. It's just another game on the schedule. I'm not going to talk about overtime or 13 seconds or coin tosses or any of that stuff that's going to come up. But you and I had an agreement early on that like that was in the past. We're not going to talk about 13 seconds, and that's fine. This is your first trip back. It's the scene of your last playoff loss. Everyone is a huge deal. Never mind for you, for the media, for the fans. This is a big deal, and it is your first trip back. How does it feel? Does it feel in any way different?
No, it really doesn't. And I think people get so caught up in what happened last year. And I think that's just the nature of the business. Like what happened last year? We beat these guys last year. They beat us last year. It doesn't matter who we play. But the reality is it's every Sunday, every Monday, every Thursday is a different situation. Anybody can beat anybody in this league. It's hard to win in this league. And nothing that happened last year carries over into this year. So we're just looking forward to having a good week of practice and trying to put our best foot forward come Sunday, 4:00.
On the football field, the Chiefs were down 17-0 last night. They came all the way back. That's become one of the hallmarks of this era. And you guys have played games on them where you've been up on them and you put them away, and you've been up on them and you haven't been able to put them away. Why is this Chiefs team so hard to put down once you're up on them?
I think everybody knows that answer. It starts with their quarterback. He's a fantastic player. He's a fantastic person. I think if you look at his accomplishments so far in his career, they dang near top anybody that's ever played the game of football. So whenever you have a guy that's got the ability of him. He's got the playmakers around him, and the belief that they have in their locker room. Typically, you're going to have success when you have guys that, again, care for each other and just want to win football games. And I think it's two constants that our team and their team have in common. It's just guys that are willing to do what it takes to win football games. And again, I think Travis Kelce's playing some pretty good ball right now too. He had an efficient game last night. I know he only had 25 yards receiving, but he had 4 touchdowns to go along with that. So that's tough to do in itself. But I'm a big Travis fan. We've gotten to kind of know each other over the last couple of years, whether it's at the golf tournament or Super Bowl party here or there. So big fan of those two, Pat and Travis. We got to play this last year in Tahoe, and I think they both kicked my butt when we played, but we had a good time.
Did they? God. Well, maybe you get them back. Maybe you get them back in the off season. You know, it's you grew up watching so much football, and you always talk about it, and I did too. And when you grew up, it was Peyton and Brady. When I grew up, it was Young and Aikman. For kids now, it's becoming Allen and Mahomes. Like, these are the ones that they want to see play each other. You're part of that now. I have an 8-year-old son. He's looking forward to Allen versus Mahomes. What's it like to be part of that for you?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That kind of dawned upon me today. And it's such a weird feeling, and I don't really take steps back and look at it from that lens too often. But to know, like, as a kid, like, I remember watching, you know, Peyton and Tom, and then Tom and Aaron, and to know that, like, people regard me in that type of situation it's surreal. But again, it's everything that I've wanted in my life, is to play football for a living, and I'm just trying to do everything I can in my power to continue to play as long as I can. So you can get as deep as you want, but we're just out here playing football, having a good time, and just trying to live my dream.
What was it that went down today that made it dawn upon you that this is really becoming a thing that you're part of?
I saw a promo for the game on Twitter. It just popped up on my feed. Someone retweeted it. And I was just like, I like, it's weird. It really is. But I thought about it for a couple seconds. I was like, I just kind of brush it past, and got to focus on trying to win a football game.
No, that's why you're so identifiable, man, because you're the farmer's son from Firebaugh. But when you go to work, it's you and Mahomes. It's like Captain America and Iron Man. Like, it is a real thing that's happening, and I love it. You are going to Arrowhead. I mentioned this. Back to last night's game, and we'll move on. Arrowhead got pissed off last night, like really mad about an officiating call, and Kelsey said afterwards, Arrowhead carried us. You're in your 5th year. You've been all around the league. Is Arrowhead, outside of your own stadium, is it the loudest place you play?
Yes, and I actually alluded to this last night. Someone asked me where my favorite place to play is, and I think it's got to be up there. The energy inside that building is awesome, and it can go one of two ways, right? It could be the loudest stadium that you'll ever be in, or it could be the quietest stadium you'll ever be in. So, like, it's just this cool mix and match of, if you do your job and you can go out there and win a football game, the satisfaction that you get from, feeling that emotion and that energy from, a very passionate fan base. And I think, they're one of the better fan bases in the NFL. I still think Bills Mafia takes the cake there. But it is such a cool environment to be in because, again, it's pure football. People love football there. And it's football at its purest form.
The loudest and the quietest. It's poetic. It really is true. And you can tell even as a fan watching at home. One other thing about you and Mahomes, Iron Man, Captain America, that's how you're kind of looked at. In his game, you guys are both so unique as athletes. What is something that you wish you could take from his skill set as a football player?
I think arm angles is something that he does exceptionally well. I think, again, just dropping his elbow, arm slot, getting the ball off from weird angles. Last night he threw, it was damn near underhanded, I think, to Travis right over the middle with the guy right in his, like, it's stupid some of the things that he can do with the football in his hand. You talk about his playmaking ability outside of the pocket, spin moves and all these weird, crazy side arm angle throws. So, he plays the game as good as anybody that's ever played it. So I've got so much respect and admiration for him and his game. And again, we've talked about each other off the field as well. So
sure.
There's just so much so much respect that I have for him.
What about something from your skill set that you would give to him?
I don't think he needs anything else. I think he's fine. I don't think he needs to take anything from me.
He's all set. But believe me,
Yeah.
dude, if he could run like you and if he was as big as you guys would have problems. Thankfully, he can't. That is your hammer, all right? Captain America does not get the hammer. But it's the game. It's Sunday afternoon. Everyone's so excited about it. Last question, and we'll get to the movie review. You've seen this, Josh. You consume so much ball. Everybody is freaking out about roughing the passer. There has been 2 straight games and back-to-back days with massive roughing the passer calls that have really changed the course of the game. Has protecting quarterbacks gone too far, and should something be done about it?
As a quarterback, I'm going to have a little bias in this field here, but as a football player, as a fan of the game, I definitely think there needs to be something that's done, because there have been a couple this year that are just they don't fit the criteria for pass, or roughing the passer, whether it's a review, a more concrete detail of the rule, just to let everybody know, because it's so arbitrary sometimes when it's called. And again, like as quarterbacks, we don't call them, but there's been a lot that have probably not been called this year too. So
Mm-hmm.
there's just this balance that you have to take the bad with the good sometimes. And when you're on the opposing team and the roughing passer gets called on you, like it is detrimental sometimes. Like it can cost you a football game. And again, when you're on the winning side of that call, you're like, heck yeah, like finally we get a call. So again, I just play quarterback. I don't have the answers to this. I didn't have the answers to the overtime rules, and whatever needs to be done will be done, I think, in the future. So that's all I really have to say about it. But again, like the reaction, I think, from people, especially social media, is probably gonna drive to change something. But again, we've been dealing with a lot of different things in this league for a long time, whether it's pass interference, right, roughing the passer, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yep.
All these calls are so up in the air sometimes, and it just kind of depends on the guys calling the game and I guess their mood on that day. But they try to do their job to the best of their abilities.
This man loves ball. If there's anything Josh loves as much as football, even close, it's movies. Let's get into it. The latest installment of the 2022 Josh Allen Film Festival. Let's bring it up. We have been assigning Josh movies to watch from before he was born. And we've done Heat, National Lampoon's Vacation, Shawshank, Groundhog Day. Josh is significantly younger than me, so these are movies I was watching in high school and junior high that he's never seen before. But before we get into this week's movie, we gave him 1993's The Fugitive, which sounds a little bit like this.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
It's the best. Josh, you'd never seen The Fugitive before. You watched it. Please tell us your thoughts. We can't wait.
Again, I put up a poster. You can't see it over here. Catch me if you can. I know we kind of talked about it for a second. Again, like I thought it reminded me so much of that movie. It's such a chase movie. It's a guy that's been convicted of killing his wife, and he escapes, from the railroad and the bus.
Yeah.
And not only does he have to escape and continue to evade the law, he's got to solve this crime in order to kind of clear his name, so he doesn't go. He was going to get lethal injected, right? He was put on the chair basically. So in order to save his life, he's got to again evade the law, find the killer. And this whole time, you got Tommy Lee Jones chasing you, and I felt myself throughout the movie kind of rooting for him too, because he's just trying to do his job. Yeah. And it was the line that Kimball said. Was it Richard Kimball? Right. That's the name of him. He said, "Be good," and that was kind of that resonated throughout the film. And again, Tommy Lee Jones he's trying to do good. He's just trying to do his job. And when he says, "I don't care," like it's not my job to convict whether you killed her or not. My job is to try to bring you back in because you escaped. So I'd give it a solid B. There wasn't too much dialogue. You know, it was kind of a quiet movie, but again, the chase scenes, it was kind of Fast and Furious like, where some of the escapes were a little out of this world. But again, I think that's what kind of makes it this movie. But Harrison Ford he's awesome. Big fan of his.
It's why we do this. Harrison Ford, an icon, and at the end, he gets in the squad car with Gerard, and he takes the handcuffs off. And Kimball says, "I thought you said you didn't care." He's like, "I don't. Don't tell anybody." So they're two guys who come together and they bond over it. Josh, I love that you're watching these movies. I love that you compare them to more contemporary movies. And on we go.
Yeah.
As you go now, this is Chiefs week. We have to give you an assignment. So we usually go drama and then light, and we changed it up. We put 4 movies to the public, to Bill's Mafia, Josh.
Okay.
And they got to vote on which one they wanted you to see. Bring up the poll. It's really tight. So we gave them The Princess Bride, Roadhouse, Varsity Blues, and White Men Can't Jump. Now, it'll be immediately disqualified if you've seen it, but the winner with 31%, Josh, is The Princess Bride. Have you seen it?
I have not seen it. I'll download it and watch it this week.
All right, this is 1987, Rob Reiner, Carrie Elwes, an almost perfect movie. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts. The Princess Bride.
Is it more drama? Is it more comedy? Like,
it's so glad you say that. It is a movie that is almost impossible to put in a genre. It is fantasy, action, comedy, and then kind of romance, too. The lead in it, Robin Wright's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. There's sword fighting. You are going to love it. 1987's The Princess Bride. Dude, Andre the Giant is in it, and he steals the whole movie.
Okay.
You're going to be way into it, I promise. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Love it.
That's our guy.
Thank you,
Josh,
guys.
have a great week. We will talk to you next week. Go Bills, man.
Go Bills. Love it. See you, Cal.
See you later. Take care.